All right, YouTube, what is going on? It is Zaya here from Zaya&TheSteelers back with another video. And in today's video, we are going to be watching a video from Football Analysis titled "The Steelers Have One Problem 2024 NFL Team Preview." So if you guys are Steelers fans or you enjoy NFL content in general, be sure to hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, ring the bell for notifications. We are on the road to 1,000 subscribers. Shout out to the people who have subscribed already. And shout out to the future subscribers, man. Also, let's get a shout out to the members. If you guys would like to support me and this channel more, be sure to hit that join button down in the description below. And this video, man, it's showing 20 minutes. I'm not gonna lie, I've seen like the first minute or two of it, and I was like, yo, I should like react to this for like the channel, because not only, you know, is this something I want to watch, but it's also something like I can give my takes on, and then it's like, you know what I'm saying, we can all watch it together. I'm gonna do something like this is crazy, but I'm gonna do something like this for Hard Knocks as well. Hard Knocks is probably gonna be harder to upload, but Football Analysis, like I said, I've seen some of his videos and they're pretty good. It's pretty good content. You can see the thumbnails too, like, not to dissect this guy's channel, but you know what I'm saying, like this guy, he has some nice thumbnails. I've been getting some inspiration type shit. So yeah, I'm gonna have this video down in the description as well as like the channel. Shout out to him for making this video. If this isn't allowed, like if he ends up seeing this and is like, yo, what the fuck, like, you know what I'm saying, I'll take it down. You know what I'm saying? It's no problem, Mr. Football Analysis. But if not, you know what I'm saying, I think it can be a fun thing for us to watch together. And so let's see what the one problem is that the Pittsburgh Steelers have.
The Pittsburgh Steelers finished
Big
the
Mason Rudolph out
2023
there.
season with a 10-7 record and made the playoffs for the third time in 4 years. And
oh, you know, also, just to stop the video one more time, I'm on my, first of all, if you're not on your second cup of coffee by now, then like, what are we doing, man? Like, I understand we're all doing something out there. You got this video on in the background, maybe. Go get that second cup of coffee, man. You might have to do it. Oh my goodness, my cat. My cat is like stuck to my chair. This is ridiculous. But yeah, shout out to my coffee mug. That's really all I want. Shout out to my coffee mug. If you think you have the best girlfriend out there, unfortunately, you have the best girlfriend number 2, because I have the best girlfriend number 1. I love this coffee mug and I love coffee. Anyway, now let's get into the video. Sorry about that. I just wanted to get that out there.
The Pittsburgh Steelers finished the 2023 season with a 10-7 record and made the playoffs for the third time in 4 years.
Big playoffs.
And unfortunately, for the third time in 4 years, they were eliminated in the wild card round of the playoffs. It was an up-and-down year for the Steelers.
If we would have played this playoff game on the day it was supposed to be played, I bet we win. You know, 31-17, that doesn't necessarily reflect it, but I bet we win this game if it was played on the correct day.
As they had some very high highs, like beating the Ravens in Week 5 to improve to 3-2 at the time, or even beating the Bengals in Week 12 to improve to 7-4. But there were also...
That Bengals win was legendary. Like, we'll never forget. Matt Canada got booted. It seemed like our offense finally got 400 yards. It seemed like everything was right in the world. And then, you know, fast forward a little bit, I'm sure he'll talk about it. It was not all right in the world.
Also some incredibly low lows, like losing to the Cardinals and Patriots in a span of 5 days.
Very tough
becoming
weeks.
the first team ever over 500 to lose consecutive games, with both teams being at least 8 games under 500.
Look at us, man. We're just record
They
breakers.
would go on to win their final 3 games to finish with a 10-7 record before falling to Buffalo with a score of 31-17 in the wild card round. But the Steelers made a lot of moves this offseason, and several big moves, including trading former first-round quarterback Kenny
George
Pickett
Pickens
to
is
the
so
Eagles,
nice.
and signing veteran quarterback Russell Wilson to a 1-year deal. They also traded for former Bears quarterback Justin Fields.
I don't know if
and
this is like
needless
loud.
to
It's
say,
kind of loud for me.
it was
I'm gonna turn it
a
down
very
slightly.
busy offseason for the Pittsburgh Steelers. But even with the offseason moves, I have a lot of concerns with this team moving forward.
Oh, really?
The Steelers have one big problem entering the 2024 season, which, of course, is at the quarterback position.
Oh,
But
man.
how far can they actually go? Well, we're going to break
All
it down.
right,
in
man.
today's video.
Let's not too much on Russell Wilson, man. This is like the worst play I've ever seen in
How
my
far
life.
can they actually
This is
go?
ridiculous.
Well, of
Like, why
course,
would he
it's at
show?
the
Why would he
quarterback
show this?
position.
And like,
But how far can they actually
damn, it's no
go?
pressure
Well,
either. I was
of
gonna
course,
try
is
to
at
be
the
like, oh, there was
quarterback
some
position.
pressure. This is
But
a clean
how far
pocket. He just, you know, he
can
just
they
tweaked.
actually go?
It
Well,
happens.
we're going
He
to break
sometimes
it
he
down in
tweak.
today's
It
video.
happens.
Now let's begin.
Maybe he thought Jerry Jeudy was open, man.
And we are starting today's video by breaking down who the Steelers lost in free agency and who they acquired.
Big Kenny
in
Pickett,
free
man. Look at the
agency.
movement.
The biggest signing the Steelers
Ooh,
made by far
that was a
former
dot.
Ravens linebacker Patrick Queen.
That was a
They
dot.
signed Queen to a 3-year deal worth $41 million, and when this contract was signed, and Steelers fans may remember this, but I was a little critical of the signing because of how much money it was for Patrick Queen. This move made Queen the 4th highest paid inside linebacker on an average annual value basis, behind his former teammate Roquan Smith, Fred Warner, and Tremaine Edmonds. And no disrespect
It's
to
not
Patrick,
bad.
but he's not on the same level as Roquan.
Oh, he's not
Fred,
on the
and
same
I thought
level.
This contract was a little rich for him.
All right, but maybe we could have got Roquan Smith, but like, when are we gonna get Fred Warner? You know what I'm saying? Like, I get it. You know, maybe Patrick Queen isn't all that. Like, listen, I thought I wasn't a casual. I thought I was like locked into this NFL shit. I thought I knew everything, man, and like. Getting Patrick Queen, I was like, yeah, like, you know, that's a signing. Yeah, you know, like, that's what I thought. And then come to find out, nah, he's not even that good, man. Like, this is like all what I've been hearing, not only from Football Analysis, but like Ravens fans, NFL fans. It's like, damn, I was deceived. Like, we were all deceived. We were all tricked. We'll have to see how it actually plays out on the field, but not too much on Patrick Queen, man. And at the same time, too, yeah, he's like paid like Fred Warner and Roquan and Tremaine Edmonds, but like, we were never going to get any of those guys, man. You know what I'm saying? So we might as well go out and get Patrick Queen, man. Not too much.
But positively, what I will say is this contract protects the Steelers in the long run because they only gave him 13.8 guaranteed of the 41.
Yeah.
And at the moment, whether the next guy up is George Pickens, Pat Freiermuth, or eventually Joey Porter Jr., though that is a few years down the road, the Steelers won't be able to pay those guys because of the Queen contract. So over the past few months, I have come around to it and am hoping he is similar to the player he was for the Ravens last year.
Yeah.
And that's honestly because the Patrick Queen that played for the Ravens in 2023 is a Pro Bowl caliber linebacker and a guy who can be a long-time starter for the Steelers. Queen will
Hasn't he made the Pro Bowl before?
25 years old, and he is a player, if he stays healthy, will be around the league for at least 6 or 7 more years, so this does have potential long-term benefits.
Yeah, it does.
They also brought in punter Cameron Johnston from the
Big
Texans.
Bill Burr,
They
man.
brought
Let's get a
back
gun.
Miles
Big Bill
Killebrew,
Burr.
and they also brought in
Big Miles
Cordero
Killebrew.
Patterson.
Yeah, big
Despite being
Cordero
34
Patterson.
years old, Cordero Patterson will be a legit impact player with the new kickoff rules, and this could prove to be a really good signing.
He's a
for the
legit
Steelers.
impact player on
There's
offense
a
too,
very
man.
real chance Cordero could return a kick for a touchdown in a Week 15 game, where the Steelers win 13-10 based on good defensive and special teams
All right,
play,
man, not too
in what would
much.
be a very Pittsburgh Steeler win. They also signed wide receiver Van Jefferson, and Van is a guy who I've always liked, and a player who I thought had legit breakout opportunity, but unfortunately never did.
Well, he's
He
on
had
the
over
team with
800 yards
Puka
back in
and
2021,
Cooper
and
Kupp.
has had just 578 receiving yards in the 2 seasons since. I wouldn't expect that much out of Van this year, but I hope he can be an okay role player and a guy who converts key third downs when you need him.
I think he can be that third down
Van
guy.
Jefferson is the definition in 2024 of buying low with a chance for a decent return. Not 1,000 yards or anything like that, but I really don't.
I bet he
see
could
why
get- he
Van
could get,
couldn't
like-
have a 5 or 6
Yeah, Van Jefferson, I think, could get like 600 yards. No lie.
yard season this year in this offense. One other move the Steelers made I liked quite a bit was the addition of veteran safety DeShaun Elliott.
Yeah,
Elliott was a
Deshaun
6th
Elliott
round
has
pick
been
for the Ravens.
Deshaun Elliott has been absolutely, he killed the preseason this year. Like, he was somebody who I was like, okay, you know, maybe not the craziest signing, because you got to think back to the context. It was like, we're getting Justin Simmons. You know what I'm saying? Like, we were getting, like, we were mocked to these names, and then for it to be Deshaun Elliott was like, oh, okay. But I don't know, man. Guy's a dog. He's a hooper.
Ravens back in 2018 and has made a nice career for himself and has played in 29 games over the past 2 years, both for the Lions and Dolphins. Deshaun isn't going to wow anybody, and he's probably not going to be a Pro Bowl safety, but why I liked this signing for Pittsburgh was because of what it represents. A good player and a true steady Eddie at the position
Steady
who's
Eddie.
going to know his role and do his job well. And anytime you can get that at the safety position for just $3 million per year, well, to be honest, I think that's a hell of a signing for the Steelers. I also like Elliott a lot as a compliment to the multiple-time All-Pro Minka Fitzpatrick, and think this safety
Oh, and
duo will
Minka was
quietly
also
be
a
one of the
Dolphin,
better
man. Shout out
duos
to the
in all of
Dolphins for the
football this
safeties.
year. And not just because of how good Minka is, but because I think Deshaun Elliott complements his style of play really, really well.
Yeah.
Now, for the 2024 Steelers defense, this is a unit I like quite a bit outside of really one position,
The
which
corner.
we'll get to shortly.
It's going to be corner.
There are a lot of positives, and it starts
Look at Nick
with
Herbig,
a
man.
former Wisconsin Badger, which, of course, is Nick Herbig.
Yeah.
Nick was a third-round pick in the 2023
Big Nick
draft
Herbig, man. Let's
and
get a
played
gunshot.
pretty well in the limited role he had during his rookie year. And I like Nick a lot and think he can step in when need be and be a contributing player for the next few years. Now, jokes aside, as the obvious former Wisconsin Badger that leads this defense is TJ Watt. TJ is now a 6-time Pro Bowler.
Didn't Peyton Wilson go to Wisconsin as well?
In which he led the league in sacks, was a first-team All-Pro, and finished second in Defensive Player of the Year voting.
He's just so
Steelers
good,
fans,
man.
please feel free in the comments
so
to let
good.
everyone know who you think should have won the Defensive Player of the Year award.
It should have been. Thank you. It should have been TJ Watt, and we all know it should have been TJ Watt.
With guys like TJ, his running mate Alex Highsmith, and the 3 big boys on the interior defensive line in veteran Cam Hayward, other veteran Larry Ogunjobi, and second-year player Keanu Benton. The part of the defense that I admittedly have concerns with is the secondary, specifically at the corner position.
Yeah.
But with the pass rush, the Steelers will
Our
have
pass
this
rush
year,
is our
they
secondary,
should still
man.
be pretty solid in their pass defense, simply because their corners are not going to have to cover as long as other corners across the league.
That's what I'm saying.
Alex Highsmith has more than come into his own as a player, and he constantly displays a variety of pass rushing moves week in and week out, and due in large part to playing on the same team as TJ Watt. I
Not too
really
much,
think
but okay.
Highsmith is one of the most underrated players,
Literally.
not just on the Steelers.
Oh my
but in the
God, bro! Like, do you
entire
see
league.
how fast Alex
had a
Highsmith
career
got? Like,
high
absolutely
69
smoked the
pressures
right
last year,
tackle,
and he's
man,
gotten
or left
better and
tackle.
more consistent since he entered the league back in 2020. Cam Hayward is now 35 years old and only played in 11 games last year, and at this point in his career, you can tell he's lost a step from the player he was in his prime several years ago.
How?
But he's still a very solid player, and I would expect much of the same in 2024. I don't think he'll be a 9 or 10 sack guy like he was even as short as 2 years ago, but he can absolutely push the pocket and play his role well at this point in his career. And to be completely honest, with both Larry Ogunjobi and Keanu Benton, who I think will break out this year.
What are we?
Both
Oh,
of
there.
those
Yeah,
guys
get
on
him,
the
Cam.
defensive
Yeah.
line, Cam doesn't need to be the guy he was in his prime. Say what you want about the Steelers at the quarterback position and how they've handled things over the past several years, but they have done a tremendous job.
But we
of
got some
continuously
dogs on the
replenishing
D-line,
the pass
man.
rush and being able to get after the quarterback, and in a big way. And in turn, this has helped them win games over the past few years that, on paper at least, you wouldn't think the Steelers would have any shot at winning. But one big thing...
What game have we won that we had no shot of winning? Like, and this is why I love watching things like this, like, versus being a Steelers fan, like a Steelers homer, because, like, I believe we can win all of these games. Like, what games last year did we win that, like, we were just not supposed to win at all? Like, I feel like we've been, like, in all the games that we lost, besides, like, the Cardinals and Patriots won, all the games that we lost, like, we should have lost those games, to me. Like, the games that we should have won, like, or the games that we won that were, like, surprising, like, are we talking about the Rams? Like, what win did we have last year that was just so crazy? The Ravens, all the times we do that? Like, where are we, like, this underdog team, man?
That cannot happen for the 2024 Steelers. That unfortunately happened multiple times throughout the 2023 season.
Big Kenny Pickett, man.
Like during the 49ers game, or like during the Texans game, for example, was if they got behind early, they were done.
Yeah.
And the 2023 Steelers offense was not built to play from behind.
Let's
and
go,
that was
Kenny,
shown
airing it
multiple
out.
times throughout the 2023 season. They finished 28th
Underthrow,
in points per
okay.
game, which in turn hurt the defense at times because there was only so much.
Oh, look at Muth on the coverage, though. And is that Van Jefferson? That's
there
not Van
were a
Jefferson.
few
I don't know who that
games
was,
where
but
the defense basically said, "I've had enough of the lackluster offense. We're going to take matters into our own
literally.
hands."
Shout
We're
out to
going
that, bro.
win
I was
by
at
force.
this game. This game was crazy,
the Browns
man.
game in week 2,
Yeah.
and the Ravens game in week
Big
5.
Alex Highsmith,
The
big
Steelers
TJ Watt.
defense forced 27 turnovers last year, which had them at 8th in the entire league. And I would
Damn,
expect
27,
them to
we
be
were
near
8th?
there again this
What
year.
defenses were getting
They
more?
recovered 11 fumbles defensively.
Big Alex
Anytime
Highsmith
you have
again.
TJ and Alex rushing from the outside, well, that puts them in really good hands, and by having those two alone, that creates a ton of pressure for the opposing
Lamar.
offense to get the ball.
Look at Lamar, though,
fast.
on
And
the
some
defense.
pressures aren't
Okay.
as good as sacks, because that can force hurried decisions, which in turn
Zach
can
Wilson,
lead
Jets
throws into
footage,
double
uh-oh.
coverage or just flat out bad decisions.
Big Bender say,
Linebacker
yeah, hell yeah,
Cole
splash
Holcomb
play.
was playing well for the Steelers before going down with a season-ending injury.
Cole was
And I am
playing really
excited
well.
to see how him and Patrick Queen play together this year.
And we got a Landon, and we got
Corners
Peyton
after
Wilson.
Joey Porter Jr. are Dante Jackson, Josiah Scott, Anthony Averett, and Cameron Sutton, who is suspended to start.
We not
the
gonna name
year.
Corey Trice?
8 games to be exact.
We not naming Corey
Dante
Trice, though?
Jackson was acquired in a trade with the Panthers for a pick swap, along with receiver Deontay Johnson, And to be honest, I did not like this trade for Pittsburgh because I don't think Dante is that great of a player, and the corner room on this team isn't great as it is.
Let's not have him show like.
Don't want Steelers fans.
Why are we playing like the worst plays of their life, man? This is crazy. I get he's trying to say, he's trying to make a point, but ooh, this was tough. This was a tough route right here. Oh my God, this was tough. Shout out to Derek Carr right here. First off, you see the pump fake. You see the pump. Oh my God, did Dante Jackson over here? He bit on that pump fake, and then this route right here to cut it back up. That's tough. That's tough. Sometimes it happens, man. That's very tough. Derek Carr probably with a dot. Underthrown, bad throw, like a good throw, and that's a touchdown. Derek Carr sucks. Good, good recoverability though.
But like we mentioned during the pass rushing part of the video, I think the not great quarter play can be somewhat negated by the pass rush.
Yeah.
And not only that, but hopefully, and I mean hopefully, the Steelers can play smash mouth football offensively and run the ball efficiently with Najee Harris and Jaylen Warren, because in turn, that would help out the 2024 Steelers defense. And relative to the 2023 Steelers offense, I can't imagine there's not an improvement with the 2024
That's what I'm saying.
Steelers
like, there has
offense.
to be an improvement, man.
The 2024 Steelers offense is fun to project for a few reasons.
Oh, hi.
The first, of course, is assuming it's not going to be what it was in 2023, which was bad.
Very bad.
For the most part.
It is very bad.
The Cardinals, Patriots, and Colts game, and especially the Mitch games, were at times downright
The Mitch games, we don't even want to see
Wilson
these.
is not what Kenny Pickett was, aside from a play here and a play there, and aside from especially
Look at
what
Mitch airing it out.
As long as Russ is
Jesus
not
Christ.
either of those players in 2024,
Mitchell Trubisky was horrible,
the Steelers
bro.
offense is going to be fine. The big thing to remember with the 2024 Steelers offense is they don't have to be top 6 or top 8 or top 10. As long as they're top 16 or top 18, even maybe top 20, just as long as they are not 28th in points per game, and as long as they are not a net negative in the passing game, the Steelers will be fine. Even for as difficult as their schedule is, they will still
What was
come
this,
game.
Kenny?
The Steelers will
I
be
get
fine.
like,
Even for as difficult
oh
as
my
they are
God,
not a net
this is
negative
this is
passing
insane
game,
right
the
here. First of
Steelers-
all, this is insane. I didn't mean to pause it on his face like that.
As long as they are
But
not a net
this play right here is absolutely nuts. I don't know what the score is at this point. Obviously, I know we got down fast in this game. But as you can see, this is Fred Warner. This is the guy he talks about who Patrick Queen is nowhere near. Probably the best inside linebacker in football, right? And who do we have running routes against him? Ladies and gentlemen, this is Connor Hayward right here. This is literally Connor Hayward right here. And I've made a video after video about Connor Hayward, but I am joking, right? I am joking when I make these videos. But Kenny Pickett, he was so dead ass when we're talking about Connor Hayward, because not only is this Fred Warner on him, by the way, like this is Fred Warner on Connor Hayward, but Kenny. He's like, oh, he has like, you see Connor, or yeah, he's about to make this move over here. Kenny, he's watching it. Like Fred Warner doesn't see him watching it, but like Kenny's predicting, he's gonna make this cut and be wide open, mind you. And this is Connor Hayward that's gonna do this. Like this is an insane play right here. Holy shit! And Fred Warner, he should have got the pick there. Like great recoverability, but holy shit, Kenny, what a decision! What a decision!
To be remembered for the 2023 Steelers is
I forgot they did that.
They threw 13 touchdowns.
That's great. That was disrespectful.
Over the course of 17 games. Now, whatever you think of Russell Wilson, whether you think he is a bum at this point, whether you think he's washed, whatever, I think we can all agree that he can still throw for at least 13 touchdowns, considering he quite literally threw for double that last
That's
year.
what I'm saying.
Now, just because Russ threw for 26 touchdowns does not make me think he was a top 10 or 12 quarterback last year, but the
top
point
13?
is he can be competent, which is what the Steelers need.
That was
and
a dot.
We often bring the term complimentary football up on the channel, and I don't know if there's
Big
a
Russell
team
Wilson.
that
I've probably
applies
used this as a
more
thumbnail before.
than what the 2024 Steelers need from the quarterback position. As long as they are not a joke back there, and as long as they are not set up to lose before the game starts, like they were with the Patriots and Colts game last year, they're going to be fine.
Thank you.
From a stat sheet standpoint, I think Russ will throw for right around 3,700 yards, and I think he'll throw for around 23 or 24 touchdowns. This is, of course, assuming he starts all 17 games.
Damn,
and when you
what a
break
grab
down
by
the
Sutton.
3,700 yards, I think George Pickens will be around 11 or 1,200 yards, with Freiermuth and Roman Wilson each around 600 to 700.
What a dot by
and a
Kenny
variety
Pickett,
of
man.
weapons,
This Bengals game was
including adding up to the
legendary.
rest
Oh
of
no.
3,700 yards.
You see that cameraman get taken
One
out?
thing that I think is worth noting for the 2024
Mute?
Steelers offense is the youth along the offensive line. Now, I did make a video a couple of months ago about how much I love the Steelers 2024 draft class and how much I really loved the pairings of Fatanu, Frazier, and then eventually 4th round guard Mason McCormick, who we will soon break down more during the rookie impact part of the video. But there is also a lot that can go wrong early on with a relatively young offensive line, which the Steelers very much have. And that also applies to Broderick Jones, who is entering his 2nd season. Now, we often talk about the rookie quarterback window, and the Texans and Panthers are in that window right now with CJ Stroud and Bryce Young, but it's also it's pretty cool that the Steelers have 3 starters right now along the offensive line in the rookie contract.
This is what I'm saying, bro. Like,
to spend a lot of
our offensive line, if it's not like it this year, which I mean, I predicted us to have a top 5 line in the league, man. But like, if it's not it this year, eventually it's going to be. As long as like we just don't, kick the curb. As long as we don't overreact and like kick Broderick Jones off the team. If we just let them grow together, like I think it'll be a really good line.
They have presumable good players, a good player in Broderick, and then presumable in Fatanu and Frazier, while playing at a discount. But it is worth noting that when you have guys under the age of 25 and in their rookie or even 2nd season in Broderick's case, that there is a lot that can go wrong from a communication standpoint, especially early on. Overall, I think the Steelers' offense will be fine in the long run, and I think the offensive line, not just in 24, but in 25 and beyond,
yeah, that's what I've been saying.
Fine. But I did at least want to note that potential danger early on in the 2024 season.
So what's our problem?
The Steelers' 2024 rookie impact will absolutely be near the top of the league, and outside of Chicago, who is kind of an outlier as they had 2 top 9 picks in Caleb Williams and Rome Odunze, the Steelers' rookie impact is going to be a lot. They will have Troy Fatanu starting at left tackle from day 1, and they will have 2nd round pick Zach Frazier starting at center from day 1.
I can't wait to see Zach Frazier out there. He's been playing a lot.
Draft based on landing spot was Roman Wilson going to the Steelers.
Oh, poor Roman Wilson if he didn't get hurt.
For people to be excited about a 3rd round receiver, but Roman Wilson going to the Steelers of all teams is not a normal 3rd round pick. And the Steelers have quite a rich history.
Yeah, we do. Pull up the receipts. Pull up the receipts.
Hines Ward,
bang,
Antonio Holmes,
bang,
AB, Mike
bang,
Wallace,
bang,
Emmanuel Sanders,
bang,
Juju, George
bang,
Pickens, DeAndre
bang,
Johnson,
bang,
and
Martavis?
to be completely honest, I may have even forgotten a name in there, but you get the point. It's been a long 25 years.
That's what I'm saying. Where them, bro? We be finding receivers everywhere.
I mean, people are going to get caught up in that, and I completely understand why. Roman is not just a name, though. He's a really, really good receiver, and I think he will complement George Pickens well. And in terms of him being a a Robin to another receiver's Batman, I don't know how many more receivers aside from like a Justin Jefferson where Roman could have won into a situation and been a great Robin immediately, which I think he will be.
So George Pickens and Justin Jefferson comparable? I feel that.
700 yards in his rookie year, which is still phenomenal
if
for
healthy.
a 3rd round player. I also really
NC State. That's where
Peyton
Wilson
went.
went.
NC State, and I think him being a 3rd linebacker behind Cole Holcomb and Patrick Queen is going to be a great value pick over the course of time.
Oh, not the Walmart
brand. For the
brand.
Steelers' 2024 rookie impact, or for their long-term draft class, this class will prove to be a great one over time. But in 2024 specifically, they're going to have at least 2 starters, and even Mason McCormick may eventually become a long-term starter. But for the 2 starters, they'll have along the offensive line the production of
Big
Roman
Zach
Wilson,
Frazier,
and eventually Peyton Wilson getting some either tackles as a 3rd linebacker if they sub him in specific packages, maybe even as a special teams player. The Steelers' 2024 class is going to be one of the better ones immediately. For the 2024 Steelers schedule, starting off hot is essential to their success. Now, you often hear coaches say, well, we need to start off strong and, we can't afford to start bad. And while everybody thinks that and nobody wants to start off 0-1 or 0-2 or 1-4 or whatever the case may be, it's really critical for the Steelers this year.
Because late in the season, late in the season, it gets tough.
6 division games, which of course are a mixture of the Bengals, Browns, and Ravens.
Yeah, but is our division really that crazy? Like, I get it. The Ravens, maybe we 1-1 them, but I think we can sweep the Browns and Bengals, man. Like, I hate doing this. I hate being humble, bro. Like, when in actuality, we do be, like, I guess we haven't swept the Browns in a little bit, and the same thing with the Bengals. I think they swept us, but, like, we can. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's not impossible.
That stretch
same thing with the Ravens, Loki. We be sweeping them all the time.
From last year to this year, and you guessed it, the Chiefs. So the Steelers cannot afford to start off 1-4 or 2-3, or even for that matter, 3-2. They're going to have to start off 4-1, 5-1, 6-1, or even 6-2, just for a chance to get to 9-8 or 10-7 and have a chance at making the playoffs. One thing that you may not know, Steelers fans unfortunately know, but TJ Watt has never won a playoff game. So despite all of the, we've never had a losing record under Mike Tomlin, and despite all of that,
he's tried.
It's been since 2016 since this team's won.
TJ's been close.
And speaking of team ceilings, I don't think the team ceiling for the Steelers is all that high this year, not just because of Russell Wilson, but I don't think the Steelers offense is going to be enough to go into a Buffalo or Baltimore or Cincinnati or Kansas City with the season on the line. And the one thing that we don't know here in early August is how the AFC playoff seedings are going to play out. But the reality, at least for my Steelers 2024 prediction, is I don't think they're going to win the AFC North, which then would put them as a wild card. And I don't trust them going into any of those places and winning. So my team ceiling for the Steelers is a wild card round exit. And if in the scenario they win in the wild card round, which
it's a positive,
I don't think they're going to, but then it would be a divisional round exit. I just don't see this team winning multiple road playoff games, let alone 3 playoff games, to get to the Super Bowl and to play New Orleans for Super Bowl 59. So,
all right, but honestly though, like everybody knows that we're not going to win the Super Bowl. Maybe we could win the Super Bowl, but I mean that's not really what anybody's looking at. So I guess I'll kind of end the video here. There's like 10 seconds left, but I'll kind of end the video here. So team ceiling wild card loss. I think we can win a game in the wild card round. Now he talked about, all right, if we go against the Buffalo or the Kansas City, or I think he even mentioned Cincinnati, it's like, maybe obviously, we probably don't get Cincinnati, or we could get Cincinnati, but obviously we probably don't get Kansas City, right? But Buffalo, like, they don't have, like, who do they have? They have, who do they, Keon Coleman? Like, we're just giving it to them, and it's all because of Josh Allen. And Josh Allen, he's a fantastic player, but like, I don't know, man. I think we could, their offense for offense, I think we can compete with them. Chiefs, we're probably not going to compete with them, but like the Bengals, they're not that crazy. The Jets, who a lot of people are high on, maybe, but we have to see who actually makes it there at the end of the year, because like we are a team that consistently is in the playing for playoff contention and all that late in the season. We're always playing for something late. Our seasons are never like really over until like literally the last game of the year. And so we'll have to see about that. And then as far as like this, we got to start out 6-2, 6-1, because like we're just gonna tank the rest of the season. I don't see that either. Like we got Kansas City and Philly there late. That's 2 games, and maybe we can win one of them. Maybe we can't. Maybe we get swept 0-2. Cool. But then after that, the division games, like we're just gonna get stomped by the division. This is what I'm talking about. I don't know who this guy likes. Obviously, he's big football fan, big NFL fan. I don't want to like call him out or whatever, but we don't just be getting swept by our division like that. It really don't be happening like that. So I think we can 1-1 at the very least, all those teams. So that's 3 wins right there. So that's 3, 3-3, 3-5 at the end of the year. So if we win 6 games, that gets us to 9. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I think we can. I think that's all very possible. Just like I think it's very possible for us to maybe even sweep the Browns, sweep the Bengals, sweep the Ravens, because like we swept the Ravens before. We swept them last year. You know what I'm saying? Like with a way worse team. And as far as breakout player Keanu Benton, probably like he's a monster, he's a dog. But other than that, the real problem, I guess, is just the offense as a whole, which I mean we've continuously talked about day in and day out about our offense. Maybe that's a thing for sure. But I don't know, man. I feel like people are sleeping on the Steelers. Like I think our running game can be good enough. We talked about the young offensive line. Hopefully by the end of the year, like they're like priming out. You know what I'm saying? They're like here, they're ready, and like we're playing smash mouth football. I think that can very well happen. And then the team ceiling wild card loss, I believe it should be divisional. It should ceiling, like this is as high as it can go. I believe as high as we can go with this current roster is the divisional round. You know what I'm saying? I think that's a divisional round, and we win a playoff game then. But maybe at this point it's apples and oranges or whatever. Maybe I'm crushing sticks or whatever the hell the term is. But yeah, this was a solid video. I really like the editing. I really like the like cuts and all that. Maybe one day I can make videos like this, man. Like I just get inspiration when I watch this stuff. So yeah, if you guys ended up enjoying this video, shout out to Football Analysis for this. Once again, I will have this in the description for sure. Thank you to him for like creating this video for me to watch with you guys. And then yeah, thank you to you guys for watching this video. If you guys are Steelers fans, once again, be sure to hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, ring the bell for notifications. This has been Zaya from Zaya and the Steelers. Happy Tuesday, everybody, and I We'll see you in the next video. Peace out.